Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. Hope you're having a great day. And first I want to thank my guys and gals from Franklin County Sheriff Department. Now look, if you're associated with law enforcement, man, I'm a big supporter. I love law enforcement. I love what you guys do. You have my respect 100% and support. So if you're affiliated with law enforcement, I wear XXX and XXX t-shirts, short sleeve. Send me one that represents your sheriff department or your law enforcement agency, regardless of what it is, state highway patrol, SBI, sheriff, police department, it doesn't matter. Send it and I'll wear it and we'll give you a little shout out on the channel. Now hey, the address to where you send that XXX or XXX t-shirt will be down in the description. Now look, this is a little follow-up video to my moss issue I got going on right here. I'll link the first video at the end of this video and then I'll put it in the description too. But that Quicksilver herbicide done a good job. Let's go look at it. So you can see the coloration, or better yet, the discoloration. Look at this. See how it's turned it kind of browny in looking? Look at that. So it's actually done a pretty good job, and this was about 2 weeks ago roughly when I applied it. So it's a pretty quick response, and on top of that, I'm not sure if you can tell it on the camera, but the turf is actually thickening up, and that's a combination of the fertility we're giving it plus getting rid of the moss so that it can actually begin to thicken up. Kentucky Bluegrass. Who would ever thought I'd had it in my yard? Look at that. That's a good looking turf, man. Great day. So if you're new, just finding me and just chiming in, I've got all turf type tall fescue. I've got 1,500 square foot of 4 different varieties of Kentucky Bluegrass. We're trying to grow it here in Central and North Carolina, where it doesn't belong here, I assure you of that. But we're going to try it out and see what happens. So what exactly are we applying today and why? I have got some Green Effect 700 and some MicroGreene. These two products have something similar to them that I like. It's going to directly relate to that moss, and it's the iron content in it, okay? It's a MicroGreene has 3% iron. I think this one has 6% iron. Yep, 6% iron. Now, what does that have to do with moss? Well, a lot of your moss control products, or you'll even see them labeled as a natural moss control products, are made from iron type material or iron products or whatever, because moss and iron do not play well together, okay? The moss just does not like it. So now that the Quicksilver has really set it back, I wanted to try something. Now this is in no way my idea. I did not come up with this. I have to give the credit to Mr. Justin, who's in my GCI Turf Academy group, and he actually went out with a full rate or a high rate of I want to say he used just the MicroGreene, I think. And the iron content in it actually curled and wilted up the moss some. So my thinking is, how about let's triple the iron content? Because if there's 3% in here and 6% in here, that's 9%. You could call it 9%. So that would almost be like tripling the iron dosage that's going on this 1,500 square foot. So hey, what do I have to lose? Let's try it. This is a very cheap application. And on top of that, I'm going to get a crazy burst of color out of it without pouring the nitrogen to it. Now, since I am going for a foliar application, meaning I'm going to take what's in this tank here and I'm going to evenly apply it over that 1,500 square foot to the foliage, meaning the leaf of the plant. And in this case, I'm not necessarily going for the grass, I'm going after the moss. So I'm looking for a foliar coverage on the moss of this particular product. Well, adjuvants are very important when you're going after foliar application, because they're going to help this product, this iron, let's take everything out of the equation and let's just call this iron, because that's really the only thing in here that I'm really interested in, because I'm hoping it sets the moss back even further and I'll get somewhat of the same results that Mr. Justin got. So I want this iron to just totally and completely engulf the moss. Okay, I want it to stick to every last little teeny tiny leaf blade on the moss to totally wrap it up. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna use a natural adjuvant, O2. I'm not gonna water this in because I want it to stick all over that moss. So I'm gonna go foliar application with an adjuvant. The natural adjuvant has a unique situation. You have to buffer or adjust this pH in its solution to activate or to keep the chitosan in suspension. So that's why you have to buffer the pH. So real simple. I've got both my products in here. I've got my tank pretty much full. Once I do my buffering and my pH adjustment, I don't want to go adding more water to the tank, so I want to have it pretty much as full as I'm going to get it. Wow, look at there. Now that's pretty cool. This pH is already at a 2.43. Okay, so do I have to do anything special? No, I don't. I'm just going to put my adjuvant in, stir it, and go spray. The adjuvant really needs to be adjusted down to a 5 or below. Every now and then, you are going to have products that it's going to drop it off the scale. And when that pH drops, I have people get a little wigged out. Was it okay to use this still? Well, absolutely it is. It does not affect it in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So I'm gonna go out at about 1 ounce per 1,000 for this. I'm gonna go a little heavy with it. The typical rate's about 1/2 ounce per 1,000. Once that goes in, make sure you mix it real good. Here's your tip of the day. I had a gentleman say he bought a drill and one of these paint stirrers from Lowe's. You know, I've been using these paint stirrers for a while, and he put it down in his tank and he just gassed it full throttle, and the stuff just said busted out all over the place. Don't do that. You be easy with your trigger finger. Alright, so here's your little tip when you're using one of these 2-gallon battery sprayers, and I found this to be for me the best way to use it. And I'm gonna turn around so that you can see me. Oh, when I do that, look at this. They put the Academy on there. That's pretty cool. So I'm gonna take it in my left hand, throw it over my head, just like that, and let it hang. The reason being is, you see my hose right here? The suction port is cut out right in the bottom down here. So if you see the angle, that means all the material is gonna be all the way down at this very bottom point, and you're sure to get the majority of it out when you spray. Bring your hose around here, like so. You're ready to go. You can see right here is your button. You can just reach right here and turn it on. Alright, so there you go. Got the MicroGreene and the green effect and the adjuvant applied. Going back to the adjuvant statement about the watering in and all, something just come to mind is, let's just say, you know, thunderstorms happen, okay? Pop-up thunderstorms, late evening or whatever. Am I at all concerned about that? If it rains 3 hours from now? Absolutely not. The adjuvant's pretty unique in that it is able to penetrate that leaf tissue, that leaf surface, and get inside the plant within about 30 minutes to an hour. Okay, well, how do you know this, Pete? Well, one, I've studied it considerably. Two, the manufacturer says it does, so I go with what they say. And number 3, I've been using it for a long time. And how does that relate to whether I know that or not? Well, as a professional applicator that we treat hundreds of properties, sometimes we don't have the luxury of timing applications around rainfall or not rainfall. Okay, and what I'm getting at is we'll mix our products up about 5,000 gallons at a time, and the trucks will come in and fill up and go spray yards all day, and at the end of the day, occasionally you get a thunderstorm. Well, we've never seen any issues to date by using the adjuvant and it rained that night, and not still get control or response or anything like that. So in no way, shape, or form am I worried if it rains tonight. The adjuvant has done what it's going to do in about an hour. So hey, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, and share, and all that cool stuff. And be sure and tell your buddies, the bluegrass is really looking good. I mowed it yesterday, or actually the day before, and it's starting to tighten up and thicken up. The color's starting to really pop. You'll notice in my drone shots when you see this, it is considerably darker than the fescue. Okay, maybe that's why they call it bluegrass. I don't know. But just as a stipulation, I don't want you to feel like if you're living in a super hot environment like North Carolina, central North Carolina transition zone, that you can go out and throw this bluegrass out and it'd be just fine. I'm not at all advocating that. It's going to take a considerable amount of work and water to get this bluegrass to do well throughout a North Carolina summer. So hey, stick around. We'll show you what this bluegrass does through the year. I love you. I appreciate you. God loved you first, and he still does. Check you later.